I think that's probably one of the reasons why I'm really not so much into first-person shooters. I don't really care about, running around and shooting everything that moves and as fast as I can and showing off my prowess with hand-eye coordination. It's not really my thing. What I do like is sometimes role-playing games where you're presented with a situation and you have to work your way through it. It's puzzle solving, effectively. Now, in my youth I played role-playing games. I was referee on a few role-playing games as well. But I'm not a big fan, at least I'm not a big fan of the early computer game role-playing games, because it was a series of situations with one solution. So what you had to do is work out what their solution was. And you could come up with a dozen other ways of getting around a problem. They weren't allowed because it wasn't the solution that the game designers decided was what you had to do. And one of the reasons I like human moderated role-playing games is because you're presented with a problem and you have to come up with a solution. But you can think outside the box, or you can think outside Game Master's box. The Game Master has come up with this problem. He's also come up with a solution for which the tools are available, but you can come up with other ways if you feel like it. You need to cross a chasm. Well, not only do you have a tool somewhere that was recently provided to you that could be used for it, if you'd bothered to pick it up and bring it with you, but the thief can climb the walls, or the magic user can levitate someone and fly them like a kite across a chasm, or whatever. There are things and ways and means to get around a thing that doesn't involve the only way I can think to do it, so that's the only way you're allowed to do it. Well-presented tabletop role-playing games will promote problem-solving and thought, not program. So, kind of like schools today, you can be taught to pass the test, or you can be taught to think about things. When I was at school in chemistry, our chemistry teacher admitted there are things you need to learn. So I will teach you those things, but I will teach you in a way that you can extrapolate related things that aren't on the curriculum. And when we got to A-levels, at least in chemistry, I've said this before, we were taught the chemistry of carbon, but then the exam would ask questions about silicon. So you need to know the chemistry of carbon. You need to know, what does carbon react with, how violently does it do it, how easy is it for it to fall apart. And then you have to know, based on where silicon is in relation to carbon, is silicon more or less likely to react in the same situations? Is it likely to create a similar compound with silicon replacing the carbon? And how likely is it for silicon to fall apart from that compound based on how reactive it is? So, it's promoting problem solving based on knowledge you have, but not direct knowledge of the thing you are analysing. And early computer games just didn't have that. There was one way to do a thing. You had to figure out what the way was and do it. And even modern day computer games aren't. That patch of grass I missed go. There it is. No, it's not that big. But even modern computer games, while they're a little bit more flexible, there's still a lot of no, this is the way you have to, this is the way we designed for it to work, so this is the way you have to do it. But there are, that said, there are a little more differences. Got cloudy. Where if you've got a rogue in the party, then these skills can be used. If you've got a warrior in the party, then these skills can be used. If you've got someone from the land of whatever, then they have special, or they have a better relationship with the person you're dealing with, so they can talk their way out of it. Yeah, stuff like that. So you've always got 2 or 3 options to attempt. It still comes back to roll a die and see if you hit a number or not. And if you don't hit the number, then you're forced down a different avenue. You can't save yourself. You might be able to save. There might be a programmed save yourself option. Oh, that didn't work. How about trying this? Nope, that failed too. Well, they're just going to shoot you. Oh, okay. But it's the combat is then not Twitch-based combat. It's let's go down this one. It's just abstract combat. It's one of the things was it XCOM? No, it wasn't XCOM. It was the one with Shepard and the Reapers, and can't remember. But it was 3 different RPG games effectively. What was it called? Hang on. This will bug me unless I look it up. So I am going to look it up. It was Mass Effect. So there was Mass Effect, Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3. And close that window now. And what annoyed me about the series was it started out as one type of game. I think it started at Mass Effect was just a role-playing game where you purely relied on your player's skill. So if you wanted to shoot a thing, you would just designate the thing you wanted to shoot, and then the player's skill in whatever weapon you were shooting it with came into play, and the weapon's damage. And by Mass Effect 3, if I remember rightly, it was down to your hand-eye coordination to aim the weapon. And it wasn't a strict sort of skill-based role-playing game where the player has the, or the character has the skill, not the player. You needed to get good. So apart from the ending of Mass Effect 3, that's kind of what annoyed me about the Mass Effect series, was it started out as one style of game and ended up as a different style, which normally I didn't particularly enjoy playing. I played this entire series because I was so far through the story that I want to see how this ends. But with a lot of games, what I end up doing is watching someone else play it on YouTube and experiencing the story that way. But it is what it is. What are we at? We're at 10 o'clock. I'm going to finish up this job. I think we'll get the small case and wrap the bales. And I think I'm done with my tea. That is way too cold. As I said, unless the kiddos call, I'm not sure what the rest of the day's plans are. I might need to go to Sam's and get my prescription. And maybe some crispy onion, fried onions, French fried onions, or whatever. Don't think we need... I just went the other week, I think Friday, not just yesterday, but Friday the week before. Went and bought a bunch of stuff. So it's not like we've got a whole ton of stuff I need to go and buy because we haven't been to Sam's in a month. But since I need to go there for my prescription, I might just go and pick up the one thing that I forgot to buy. I didn't actually know I needed it. Things like that, Mrs. Osa usually gives me a list of, this is what we've run out of, go and get it, or this is what I think we've run out of, go and check the pantry downstairs to see if we've got any more down there. Then go and get it. But, yeah, that was one of the things not on the list. Go. I don't even know how many bales we've done. We haven't gone through much net. That's kind of a good thing. But I don't remember, I never remember to reset the bale counter, so we'll just have to look at the game stats at the end of this, see where we're at. I could park this in the corner of the shed. Since it's a short piece of equipment, it will probably fit behind the harvester easier than I think what I might do is drop that. And clear up this corner. Okay, that looks like we got it. There's a bit there. Try not to roll it into the river stream thing. And get back to the road. Alright. So, last 3 rows, plus the bits at the far end, which weren't quite as tidy as the stuff at the top here. And then we'll count the bales. Oh, you The problem with the enhanced baler is it does slow you down as you get to the last 10% of 5% of bale. Going to lift the thing. Okay. And good grief. There we go. Push it just beyond that bit on the side, and now we go fast. Yeehaw. So, a couple of things I need to do. I think once this is done, we'll get it all cleaned off. Put it away. Oh. So, yeah. I will have to check when Sam's pharmacy is open. I might also buy some more bread for the freezer downstairs. Problem is they only had 2 twin packs last week, so I usually buy 4 twin packs to last a full between visits. And then occasionally I'll top it up with Mrs. Osa's going to the grocery store and I've got 5 slices left, so rather than going down to the basement and defrosting a loaf, how about I just buy a fresh one. There we get that bit there, we get the bit over there, and the bit there. I think there was a bit there. And that might be mostly done. I'm not seeing any masses of stacks of grass that I missed. There's that bit. And there's a bit in the middle on the right. It looks like there might be a bit on the edge there. Oh, missed that bit. And there are a couple of bits along here, but it's really not making an awful lot of difference. So that's done. I do not need to fix anything. So I'm just going to head over here. We'll wash this off. And we are then done with this tractor. For at least now. Maybe. I don't think I actually need tractors anymore until spring. Well, I do need to collect and ship the bales, but that's December. So we'll probably end up doing that with this tractor. It's cheaper to run than the John Deere. Oh, hello. Don't want to be there. I want to be in this one. Thank you. Alright, let's head out the door. And so what I'm thinking is if I push this very, very carefully, because this thing doesn't stick out quite as much as the mowers. So it's just easier to tuck it away over here. assuming I can. Oh. And drop that. Yes, good. Could also move the tether over there. That might also be an amazing little plan. Then okay. And these will be better spaced out. I do want to leave a space there because obviously we use the bale much more frequently. Use the tether, which please don't fall over backwards. No, you're good. All right, let's park this one over here then. Then I will take a quick peek at the beeping phone. And squeak, 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 stop. Alright, let's have a look at stats. Bales, 22. I mean, this isn't a majorly bale producing farm. We've only produced 359. Text reminder, the accident response feature is not turned on. Okay, that's fine. I've been having conversations about that with work, not the accident response feature. Our sales locations are allowed to maintain different levels of pricing for different situations. And the problem is they will get a reminder that tells them, oh, some of your settings are going to expire within the next 60 days. So they will alter it on their PC maintenance screen, but they will not push it into production. And when they don't push it into production, they never get another reminder because the reminder is based on the production expiry date. And because the production expiry date is the 1st of this year and that's not within the next 60 days, they don't get a report to remind them, but the date that they did set for it to expire, like, I don't know, the 26th of September, on the 27th, they suddenly say, my pricing, it just magically vanished. And it's like, yes, because you didn't put the expiry date into production. You just left it in your file, and now it's deleted, because that's how it works. So it's sort of the delete and the report need to work on the same file. You can't work on the PC file for one and the production file for the other one. And then 2, you kind of need a reminder to say, hey, you've changed this in the last week and you didn't push it into production. Did you mean to push it into production or not? Because if you don't, then you get questions about, hey, why isn't my pricing right? I had one of those this week where someone had changed the pricing on their PC screen and, it wasn't being reflected in production. So why not? Well, because you didn't put it in production. You just left it on your PC screen and expected everything to just happen magically. So I think the people responsible for the pricing maintenance are looking into expanding the reports that they produce and triggers and everything else, so that we don't end up with a whole host of problems. Because the problem is it ends up with me having to fix the data, in spite of the fact A, I'm not responsible for the data, and B, I don't have any control over the maintenance of the data. I just have to fix it when the maintenance doesn't happen. And I've been bitten by that more than once, where they've changed data standards, they've added fields, they've got special values. They don't tell me about it, but I then need to fix the data, and I fix it wrong because I didn't know you changed what that particular value means. I am running out of bale wrap. I think, fortunately, I don't have to go buy a rack of bale wrap. Oh, there was an interesting mod this week. Consumables. No, it wasn't that. It wasn't. I don't think it was silage additive. Is that silage additive? Yeah, that's silage additive too. That's things like these: the bale wrap, the Rani wrap, the twine. These things. There's a mod that was released this week that lets you buy a crate, but then manually pick one piece out of it. Same with, if we go